what's going on YouTube? Today we had a Facebook Marketplace find. Got this thing for a steal. It's the Flowmaster FX Extreme downturn exhaust. We're going to do an install and then we're going to do a comparison against the OEM exhaust. See how the sound is. All right, time to see what this thing sounds like. All right, we're gonna run under the truck real quick. Couple items we need to take care of first. All right, so we need to remove the two bolts up here in the flange. Once we have those out, we could pull the back part of the exhaust out. And then we'll remove these two in the front, and then we'll be able to remove the muffler section from the hangers. So let's get going. We're going to start with removing these two bolts, and then we'll be able to pull this section off the vehicle, and then we'll move on to the front flange of the exhaust. We're going to use some penetrating lubricant. You can use PB Blaster. I'm going to use AMSOIL MP. This will free rusty parts, so it's going to come in handy for those bolts. We're going to go ahead and soak both the back and the front flanges and then get those bolts removed. Give these guys a little bit of a spray. We'll be able to let those soak a little bit. Get the breaker bar out. We got those bolts out. As you can see, they're pretty freaking gross. So that's why they were so difficult to remove. Nice and rusted up in there. The lubrication didn't really even penetrate. We also didn't leave it on there for very long. You can see that this one's kind of stripped, but we got these fuckers off, so that's all that matters. All right, and she's out. Let's move on to the removing this and then onto the front. Now what we'll do is we'll remove the hanger portion of the rear part of the exhaust. Once we get that hanger out, we'll be able to remove this out of the back of the vehicle. I was provided this tool. It is a hanger removal tool. So basically what we'll do is we'll put this piece up behind the anchor on the back part of the little hanger boot. And then this part will go in through the hole to push out the rod that's attached to the exhaust. And that'll easily allow us to pull this off. Otherwise, you're kind of pushing and pulling to get it off of the hanger. Placing you guys under the vehicle with me so you can watch to see how this is removed. So right here is the hanger. Got the little rod right here that's part of this exhaust. This guy's gonna go in this way, up, behind, into there, and then we're just gonna push like that. And now the exhaust is free. Pull this tool out so it's not in our way. And we're gonna try to wiggle. This little guy's in the way, so what we could do is just remove that real quick. I think that's a 12 millimeter. All right, now that's out of the way. There we go. Just like that. Back part of the exhaust is out. Let's move on to the front. All right, we are back in the front of the car. So we have to remove these two bolts. Then we have to pull the exhaust off this hanger, and this hanger in the rear, which I'll show you once we get back here. Let's get going. Actually came loose pretty well. Use this to get these the rest of the way off. In through the back here. Right. Bolt came out. Take this one the rest of the way. Right. We're gonna be reusing these. We'll put a little bit of anti-seize on these before we put them back in. So we gotta remove this part of it, right? So push, squeeze. You can see how that kind of just pops right off. We'll leave that one on there. We gotta pull this hanger and then this hanger in the front. I'm just kind of doing a little bit at a time so I don't drop this thing on my face. Since this one's almost all the way out, we'll pop that the rest of the way. I'm just going to continue using this tool since it is the easiest method to get these free. There is a fourth hanger that I did not see. Let me show you. Fourth hanger is right here. So we'll get that pulled off. I don't know why I didn't see that before, but this whole thing is going to fall on my face anyway, so screw it. God, this tool makes it so easy. This was given to me, by the way, from the person I bought this exhaust from. Shout out Moses. Exhaust is out. Now I'm actually pretty curious what the weight difference is between these. So I'm gonna grab a scale and I'm gonna weigh the OEM exhaust against the Flowmaster FX Extreme, see what the weight difference is. We're gonna weigh the front portion of this exhaust first. All right, it's tared. Put this guy on there. And we got 29.9 pounds. Let's move on to the other back part of the exhaust and see what that weighs. This one is way lighter, so I don't even know if this is gonna even populate anything. No, it's not even doing anything. If I were to guess the weight, I got my wife's little 5-pounder here. This is definitely under 5 pounds, so let's just call it 3 pounds. Now we got the Flowmaster FX Extreme downturn. Hit the scale. See what this thing weighs. All right, 19.9 pounds. What would we save, about 14 pounds? Ain't bad. All right, let's install this thing. Got some hangers that this thing needs to go on to. Lay out the tack here. I'm gonna put this guy in first. All right. So we got it in. Just gotta get these bolts in now. I'm gonna put some anti-seize on these guys first, then we can get them installed. I'm gonna clean them off real quick, just so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Just taking the springs off, and we're just cleaning the threads. Get all the rust off from the OEM bolts since we're reusing them. Just go all the way around and make sure the threads are nice and clean, like that. Then we'll take some anti-seize. You don't need to use a crap ton of this stuff, just enough. We are installed. Flowmaster FX Extreme. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's take this thing for a drive. Let's see how it sounds inside the cab. we'll give it a little push here. Windows are up. We're going to see how this sounds. Put the windows down.